We've seen the rise and fall of the samurai, their code of honor, and their defining moments in history. But the story is far from over. To truly understand the legacy of these iconic warriors, we must look closer at their lives, their philosophies, and their impact on culture and society. The samurai's origins can be traced back to the Heian period, a time of political instability and decentralization in Japan. Early on, they weren't the noble and disciplined figures we associate with the term today. Instead, they were local warriors hired by landowners to protect their territories from bandits, marauding enemies, and rival clans seeking to expand their influence. These landowners, often unable to rely on the distant central government for defense, turned to these warriors to safeguard their holdings. Over time, these mounted warriors honed their combat skills, developed intricate loyalty networks, and established a distinct warrior identity that would evolve into the samurai class. Their role expanded from mere protectors to powerful forces in the feudal structure, shaping Japanese society and culture for centuries. Unlike the armor-clad swordsmen of later years, these early samurai often relied heavily on mounted archery, a skill that required precision, balance, and extensive training. Riding on horseback while firing arrows, they were both agile and deadly, embodying the warrior ethos of their time. The bow and arrow were not just tools of war, but symbols of their role as protectors, deeply rooted in the culture and traditions of early Japanese feudalism. This reliance on mounted combat set the foundation for their evolution into the iconic warriors we recognize today. As Japan entered a state of fragmentation and decentralization during the Heian period and beyond, the samurai began to rise in prominence, evolving from simple provincial warriors into an indispensable class of military and political leaders. They became the enforcers of local power, defending the lands of their lords and eventually amassing influence of their own. Over time, their strict code of honor, skill in battle, and loyalty to their masters shaped their identity, turning them into legendary figures. These legends, rooted in duty and valor, began to forge the Japanese cultural and national identity, leaving an enduring legacy that still fascinates the world today. By the end of the 12th century, the samurai had firmly established themselves as a dominant force in Japanese society, not just as warriors, but as a key political and social class. One pivotal moment in this transformation was the Genpei War, 1180 to 1185, a fierce conflict fought between the powerful Taira and Minamoto clans. This war, marked by a series of brutal battles and shifting alliances, culminated in the decisive Battle of Dan-no-Ura in 1185, where the Minamoto clan emerged victorious. Following their triumph, Minamoto no Yoritomo rose to power and became Japan's first shogun in 1192. He established the Kamakura shogunate, a military government that marked the beginning of the samurai's rule as a political and military elite of Japan. This new era reshaped the country's governance, creating a feudal system where loyalty and martial prowess defined the social hierarchy, and the samurai played a central role in maintaining order and control. Samurai were no longer just warriors. They evolved into landowners, politicians, and enforcers of order, taking on roles far beyond the battlefield. They were responsible for managing estates, mediating disputes, and maintaining law and order within their territories. Tasked with ensuring justice, samurai often acted as judges and administrators, balancing governance with their traditional duty of defending their domains. As a result, feudal Japan became deeply structured around the power and authority of its warrior class, who played a central role in shaping the political and social hierarchy of the time. But the influence of the samurai transcended governance, extending far beyond the political sphere. Their ethos of honor, discipline, and loyalty began to permeate various aspects of society, shaping not only leadership but also the arts, literature, and spiritual practices. The samurai code, known as Bushido, inspired values of integrity and perseverance that became deeply embedded in Japanese culture, influencing even the daily lives and moral outlook of ordinary people in profound and lasting ways. At the heart of the samurai way of life lay Bushido, the way of the warrior, a deeply ingrained moral code that guided their actions and defined their identity. Bushido emphasized key virtues such as loyalty, honor, self-discipline, and respect, shaping not only the samurai's conduct in battle but also their behavior in everyday life. This code demanded unwavering commitment to their lord and a readiness to sacrifice everything in the name of duty. For the samurai, dying in the service of their lord was seen as the ultimate act of devotion and bravery, a fate that ensured their honor would remain untarnished. Beyond the battlefield, Bushido also required the samurai to cultivate inner peace through discipline and reflection, blending martial prowess with moral integrity. This philosophy became the foundation of their legacy, influencing Japanese culture and values for generations. Bushido, the code of conduct for the samurai, influenced not only the warriors but also the entire cultural fabric of Japan. It served as a moral compass, guiding their behavior in battle, their loyalty and service to their lords, or daimyo, and even the way they conducted themselves in their personal lives. Rooted in principles such as honor, courage, and self-discipline, Bushido shaped the samurai's identity and provided a framework for living with integrity. At its core, Bushido demanded unwavering fidelity to ethics, even in the face of certain death, emphasizing the importance of duty and self-sacrifice for a greater cause. Its teachings left an enduring legacy that continues to resonate in Japanese culture today. One reflection of Bushido's emphasis on honor was the practice of seppuku, a ritual act of taking one's own life to preserve dignity after a defeat, disgrace, or perceived failure. This ritual, which involved the samurai disemboweling themselves with a short blade, was often carried out in the presence of witnesses or a second, who might deliver a merciful final blow to end the suffering. While deeply tragic, this act underscored the samurai's unwavering commitment to ideals such as loyalty, integrity, and honor, demonstrating a willingness to sacrifice personal survival in order to uphold their moral and social obligations. The Sengoku period, also known as the Warring States period, was one of the bloodiest and most turbulent eras in Japanese history, spanning the 15th and 16th centuries. During this time, Japan was fractured into numerous domains ruled by powerful daimyo, or feudal lords, who commanded armies of samurai. These clans frequently clashed in brutal battles for control over territory, political influence, and ultimate supremacy. The constant warfare led to shifting alliances, betrayals, and the rise and fall of many prominent families, shaping the course of Japan's history and paving the way for unification under leaders like Oda Nobunaga, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and Tokugawa Ieyasu. Figures like Oda Nobunaga, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and Tokugawa Ieyasu rose to power during this time, leaving an indelible mark on Japanese history by uniting the country under military rule and drastically reshaping the samurai's role in society. Oda Nobunaga was known for his revolutionary military strategies and early adoption of firearms, while Toyotomi Hideyoshi solidified control through diplomacy and reforms. Finally, Tokugawa Ieyasu established the Tokugawa shogunate, ushering in a period of peace and stability that lasted over 250 years. Samurai armies, equipped with both traditional katana and newly imported firearms, played a pivotal role in these unification efforts, becoming key forces in shaping the nation's political and social future. Their transformation during this era ultimately laid the foundation for modern Japan. By 1603, Tokugawa Ieyasu successfully unified Japan after years of conflict and established the Tokugawa shogunate, a military government that would maintain stability and rule the country for over 250 years. This era, known as the Edo period, brought a long-lasting peace that fundamentally transformed Japanese society. While the samurai retained their elite status as a warrior class, the absence of large-scale warfare gradually diminished their role on the battlefield. Instead, many samurai adapted to administrative and bureaucratic positions, becoming key players in maintaining order and governance during this peaceful period. In the 19th century, Japan underwent massive cultural and political transformations that reshaped the nation. The arrival of Western powers in the mid-1800s brought increased pressure to modernize and compete on a global stage. This era, marked by the end of Japan's isolationist policies, ushered in the Meiji Restoration, which aimed to centralize power and industrialize the country. These sweeping changes sounded the death knell for the samurai class, as their traditional role in society diminished with the introduction of a modern military and new social structures. This period marked the end of an era and the beginning of Japan's transformation into a modern nation. During the Meiji Restoration, Japan underwent significant reforms to modernize and strengthen its nation. One of the most notable changes was the abolition of the samurai system, which had been a cornerstone of Japanese society for centuries. In its place, the government introduced universal military conscription, requiring all citizens, regardless of social class, to serve in the newly established modernized army. This shift marked the end of the samurai's traditional role as elite protectors and warlords, relegating their status to relics of a bygone era. Many former samurai struggled to adapt as their privileges and way of life were dismantled, while others found new roles in government, business, or education as Japan entered a new chapter of rapid industrialization and modernization. Yet, their legacy endures. Today, the samurai remain potent cultural symbols, celebrated in literature, art, and film worldwide. They are often depicted as warriors of unmatched skill and honor, representing a way of life rooted in the Bushido code, the principles of loyalty, integrity, and courage. These ideals of strength, discipline, and sacrifice transcend time and culture, continuing to inspire millions and serving as a reminder of a storied past that still resonates in modern society. To become a samurai was no small feat. It was a lifelong commitment that began in early childhood and demanded unwavering dedication. Young samurai in training underwent rigorous instruction in kenjutsu swordsmanship, kyudo archery, and an array of other martial arts designed to hone their combat skills. Beyond mastering weaponry, they studied strategy, philosophy, and the code of Bushido, which emphasized loyalty, honor, and self-discipline. Success as a samurai required not only physical prowess, but also exceptional mental fortitude, as they were expected to approach every challenge with precision, focus, and an unshakable resolve. It was a way of life that demanded balance between the body, mind, and spirit. Training focused on balance, precision, and mindfulness was at the core of a samurai's discipline. Their rigorous regimen was not just physical, but deeply spiritual, emphasizing the connection between body and mind. It was said that a samurai's body was only as strong as their spirit, a belief that shaped their intense and holistic preparation for battle. This philosophy extended beyond combat, influencing their daily practices, from meditation and swordsmanship to their way of life, ensuring they were always grounded, focused, and ready to face any challenge with unwavering resolve. Often overshadowed, samurai women, known as Onna-bugeisha, played significant and often underappreciated roles in Japanese history. These women were not mere bystanders while their male counterparts marched to war. They were trained in the art of combat to protect their households, families, and communities during times of conflict. Their training was rigorous and focused, preparing them to defend against intruders or rival clans when the men were away. They wielded weapons like the naginata, a long polearm, with exceptional skill, and often combined this with stealth and strategy. Some, like the legendary Onna-bugeisha, even took to the battlefield, earning recognition for their bravery and martial prowess. The Onna-bugeisha were a testament to the strength and resilience of women in samurai culture. Figures like Onna-bugeisha shattered stereotypes with their tales of bravery, skill, and tactical brilliance on the battlefield. A legendary Onna-bugeisha, Tomo was known for her unmatched archery skills, swordsmanship, and courage in the face of overwhelming odds. Those stories of female samurai are fewer compared to their male counterparts. They serve as powerful reminders that the spirit of the samurai transcended traditional gender roles, proving that dedication, honor, and strength were not confined by societal expectations. Zen Buddhism profoundly influenced the samurai ethos, shaping their values and approach to life. The philosophy of impermanence taught them to accept the fleeting nature of life and death, fostering a fearless attitude on the battlefield. Its emphasis on calmness and adversity helped samurai maintain composure and clarity even in the most chaotic situations, while the practice of meditation enhanced their mental discipline. Additionally, the focus on self-control and inner peace became cornerstones of their mindset, allowing them to balance the demands of combat with a deeper sense of purpose and spiritual growth. Through Zen practices, samurai cultivated the mental discipline and detachment needed to confront death without fear, enabling them to remain composed in the face of mortality. These practices also provided the clarity and focus required to excel not only in the chaos of warfare, but also in the challenges of daily life, fostering a balanced and mindful approach to their duties and responsibilities. The samurai were not only warriors, but also significant patrons of art and creators of culture in feudal Japan. Renowned for their discipline and skill in battle, they were equally influential in shaping Japan's artistic and cultural legacy. Their exploits and values inspired countless works of art, from the intricate and symbolic designs of their armor to the epic poetry, literature, and no plays that celebrated their heroism and honor. Samurai also played a role in promoting tea ceremonies, calligraphy, and painting, blending their martial prowess with a deep appreciation for refinement and aesthetics. Their legacy continues to symbolize a unique balance of strength and artistry. Literature such as the tale of the Haika immortalized their bravery, struggles, and the rise and fall of the samurai clans during the Genpei War. These tales, rich with themes of honor, loyalty, and impermanence, remain integral to understanding Japan's cultural history and the values that shaped its society. Few symbols of the samurai are as iconic as a katana. These swords, forged with expert craftsmanship, were not only weapons but also works of art, representing the pinnacle of Japanese sword-making. The process of creating a katana involved intricate techniques, such as folding the steel multiple times to create a blade that was both sharp and durable. But the samurai's artistry extended far beyond their swords. Their armor was a masterpiece in its own right. Designed to protect while allowing mobility, every piece of samurai armor reflected meticulous attention to detail, from the lacquered plates to the elaborate helmets often adorned with symbolic crests. Together, the katana and armor embodied the discipline, skill, and honor of the samurai warrior. From lightweight lacquered plates designed for mobility and durability to elaborate family crests symbolizing honor and heritage, every element of their gear was meticulously crafted to balance function and aesthetics, ensuring both practicality in battle and a striking visual presence. The samurai were not just skilled fighters. They were brilliant strategists who shaped the course of Japanese history. Their expertise extended beyond the battlefield, as they meticulously planned and executed complex maneuvers to outwit their enemies. Key battles like the Siege of Osaka showcased their masterful tactics, combining keen psychological insight, disciplined formations, and innovative weaponry. These strategies not only defined the era, but also left a lasting legacy on the art of warfare. Through cunning strategies and masterful political maneuvering, leaders like Toyotomi Hideyoshi and Tokugawa Ieyasu not only crushed opposition, but also unified a fractured Japan. Hideyoshi's brilliant military campaigns and diplomatic alliances set the stage, while Ieyasu's calculated patience and decisive victory at the Battle of Sekigahara solidified his power, ensuring their places in history as two of Japan's most influential figures. During long periods of peace, Bushido, the code of the samurai, gradually transformed from a set of rules strictly for warriors into a broader guide for moral and ethical living. As the need for constant combat diminished, samurai began to take on new roles in society, becoming scholars, teachers, and bureaucrats. They carried with them the core principles of Bushido, such as justice, integrity, loyalty, and honor, influencing not only the ruling classes, but also the cultural and moral fabric of society as a whole. Their philosophy extended beyond the battlefield, shaping education, governance, and everyday life, leaving a lasting legacy on Japanese culture. Even off the battlefield, The samurai's values of honor, discipline, and loyalty were deeply ingrained in their way of life, shaping not only their martial practices, but also their personal conduct and social interactions. These principles guided their actions, influenced their relationships with family and society, and provided a strong sense of purpose in even the smallest of everyday matters. Whether fulfilling duties to their lord or maintaining harmony within their communities, the samurai adhered to a strict ethical code that defined their identity and legacy. Samurai became timeless icons, immortalized in various art forms such as kabuki theater, woodblock prints, and literature. Their dramatic tales of loyalty, honor, tragedy, and valor captivated audiences, weaving a rich cultural legacy that has resonated across generations. These stories not only celebrated their martial prowess, but also explored their complex moral codes and personal struggles, ensuring their place as enduring symbols of Japan's history and spirit. Modern filmmakers like Akira Kurosawa carried their legacy to a global stage, introducing samurai to audiences worldwide through cinematic masterpieces such as Seven Samurai and Yojimbo. His storytelling, rich in cultural depth and universal themes, not only honored the samurai tradition, but also influenced generations of filmmakers, cementing his place as one of cinema's greatest auteurs. The samurai not only defined warfare, but also revolutionized the art of fortification. Castles like Himeji were not just military strongholds, but also stunning architectural marvels, designed to showcase both strategic brilliance and cultural refinement. These castles, with their imposing walls, intricate layouts, and defensive features like moats and trapdoors, reflected the power, ingenuity, and artistic sensibilities of the samurai era. They stood as symbols of authority and resilience, embodying the values and legacy of this iconic warrior class. These fortresses were enduring symbols of their mastery over land, strategy, and the ability to command both resources and people. They stood as testaments to their power, resilience, and vision, shaping the landscape and history for generations. Even in 21st century Japan, the legacy of the samurai continues to shape the nation's identity. The values they upheld, such as discipline, loyalty, and respect for tradition, remain deeply ingrained in various aspects of Japanese society. From corporate culture, where dedication and hierarchy are still highly valued, to education, where students learn the importance of perseverance and respect, the influence of samurai ideals is unmistakable. These values also permeate daily life, reflected in customs, rituals, and even modern ethics. Although the samurai as a class disappeared long ago, their spirit endures, leaving an indelible mark on Japan's cultural fabric and guiding principles. The modern appreciation for these legendary warriors shows that their lessons remain relevant, offering timeless insights into discipline, strategy, and resilience. Their unwavering commitment to their craft and their ability to adapt to changing circumstances serve as powerful examples, even in a world far removed from their own era of battles and traditions. Today, their values continue to inspire not only individuals seeking personal growth, but also leaders striving to navigate complex challenges with strength and precision. From their rise as warriors to their enduring symbolism today, the samurai represent a way of life that has transcended time. Their story isn't just history. It's a celebration of resilience, honor, and the human spirit. To uncover even more stories of the samurai, explore further with our videos. What aspect of their legacy resonates the most with you? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible histories.